Hey guys, it's the last day of my Friandise special and we're making chocolate bonbons. I'm using a new technique to personalize my bonbons and we're filling them with a whiskey and tail pepper pectin gel and a caramel and whiskey ganache. So, let's begin. First we're going to make the two fillings. Let's start with the whiskey and tail pepper pectin. Pour 200 grams of whiskey into a pan, also add a gram of tail pepper and bring it to a boil. Meanwhile, mix 10 grams of sugar with 6 grams of pectin gel. Once the whiskey is boiling, add the pectin sugar and while stirring, let it boil for 3 minutes. Then add 75 grams of sugar and keep on heating till the temperature is 104 degrees Celsius. Stir it every now and then to prevent it from burning. Once it's done, pour it into a bowl, cover it and let it cool down completely. I left it overnight so the flavors could really infuse. Then remove the tail pepper and transfer it into a piping bag. Set it aside for later. Now for the whiskey caramel ganache. First caramelize 40 grams of sugar on a medium heat. Stir it as little as possible to prevent it from crystallizing. Once you're happy with the color, add 20 grams of coffee beans and toast these for a minute. Then while stirring, add 100 grams of cream. Keep on mixing till all the caramel has dissolved. Then turn off the heat and add 50 grams of whiskey. Cover the pan with a lid and let it infuse overnight in your fridge. The next day you can take it out of the fridge and bring it to a boil. Meanwhile, transfer 400 grams of white chocolate into a bowl together with 5 grams of cocoa butter. Then pass the hot whiskey cream through a fine sieve onto the chocolate and also add 50 grams of butter and 50 grams of whiskey. Now blend it till smooth and fully emulsified. If needed, give it some more heat, but you should be fine. Then transfer it into a piping bag and keep it out of the fridge for later. Now for the chocolate shells. First we need to prepare the bonbon mold. Use a kitchen paper with a little bit of melted cocoa butter to clean the mold. Then take a clean paper and wipe out all the cocoa butter. After that, color some melted cocoa butter with green fat soluble coloring powder and mix it well till all the powder has dissolved. If you're having some trouble with dissolving, use a hand blender. Now we need to temper it. For that, pour it on your worktop and while moving, cool the cocoa butter down till it's 31 degrees Celsius. Then transfer it into a brusher. You can also use a sponge, but with a brusher you get a nice even result. Brush a thin layer in the bonbon mold. And yes, do this outside or in a brush box. But I can't film outside in my new studio, so be sure to subscribe for the dedication. Once you're happy with the brush, clean the mold on some kitchen paper. Then let it set for at least 30 minutes. Now we're going to give these bonbons a little personal touch. I already made multiple videos on how to design your bonbons, but here I tried a new technique with a stamp. I had this one custom made with my logo. You need to heat the stamp slightly and then melt the cocoa butter for a second. Once it's melted, you can wipe it away with a little sponge. The stamp I have made by Mold Brothers. Once you're happy with the design, we need to temper some white chocolate. I use some melted chocolate that's 45 degrees Celsius. Pour 4/5 on your worktop and while moving it with a big palette knife, cool it down till it's 27 degrees Celsius. Then transfer the chocolate back into the bowl and mix it well till it has a temperature of 30 degrees Celsius. Now fill your mold with the chocolate and tap it a couple of times to remove any air bubbles. Then turn it around and tap the side to remove any excess chocolate. The more you tap, the thinner the shell will be. Now use the palette knife to clean the top. Of course you can reuse the excess chocolate. Then once the chocolate is set, you can fill it with the fillings. First add a dot of the pectin gel and then fill it just below the edge with the ganache. Let it set for half an hour. After that, take some tempered white chocolate and close the bonbons. Now take the big palette knife and level the top. Then clean the sides and let it set for at least 1 hour. Once set, turn the mold around and tap the bonbons out of the mold. If you're having trouble unmolding the bonbons, let them sit for a couple more hours and then gently twist the side of the mold. If this also doesn't work, pop them in the freezer for a couple of minutes and then let the mold sit for 1 hour on your worktop before removing the bonbons from the mold. Okay guys, that's it for today. I'm incredibly happy with the result. It took a bit of patience to get it right because I had to find out what amount of pressure I had to put on the stamp and what time I had to put it in the bonbon mold. But once I got that right, I got it right every time. So practice makes perfect and you'll be able to get your own logo or another design on a bonbon as well. So that's a really cool technique. I must say they taste quite delicious as well, because this is all that's left. I've eaten the rest and I love the whiskey flavor. That's also why I added the whiskey in 2 parts for the ganache, because I added the first part so the alcohol could burn off, because then you get that richness without that punch, but you still want a little bit of a punch. So that's why I added a little bit later on as well, because then it's not hidden, so the alcohol doesn't burn off and you get that really nice golden flavor. Okay guys, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. This was the final Friandise special. Quite happy that it's over actually, because I've eaten enough sugar for the rest of the year. Couple savory dishes coming up, and then we go back to desserts and pastries. So let me know in the comments on what you want to see next. Like and share the video, and please subscribe if you want to support my channel. And as always, bon appetit!